The In This League Podcast Network.
What is up, friendos, and welcome into the In This League Fantasy Baseball Podcast. I am the Welsh, that is the Bogman, and today we're answering your questions. It's a Q&A episode before the big draft weekend. All of your hopes and dreams up, down the drain, or all the good things are going to happen. It's a big draft weekend as we are closing into opening day, so we assume all of you guys are going to be rocking it out, and we are going to answer some of those burning questions. Maybe they're going to be a little bit more specific to a league. Maybe they're going to be more macro, whatever it is. We've got it, and we've got it in a couple different ways because, A, we have dropped a Q&A question board on our Patreon, and we've got a host of questions there. But B, we are live on our YouTube and our Twitch. And if you guys don't know about that, if you're listening on the podcast side, youtube.com/inthisleague and twitch.tv/inthisleague. You can find both of us there. And that will allow, if there's anybody out there that has any fantasy questions, can drop it into the live chat and we will live chat it up as well. So we have got the live, we've got the other questions, and it is good to almost be into fantasy baseball season. Bogman, I've already done some drafts. We have the earliest we've ever had our home league. Bogman's actually almost annoyed by it that we're doing it. So we're not doing it the day before the season starts. Bogman was just like, yeah, I guess whatever. I don't care. I just did my Fantasy Pros League. It's draft season, man. Are you going to be okay with doing a draft, like a week before opening day?
Yeah, I guess it's fine. I like to do it about 5 minutes before the first pitch of the first game. So that's when I like my draft to be done, but it gives me, a little time to go see Project Hail Mary this weekend as well. So that's not bad.
You've been talking about that thing for months.
I'm excited for it. I already got my tickets for Saturday, so I'm ready to go. But are you going to go? I know you like those, they're doing a special popcorn bucket and all that. Are you going to go try to get one of those?
Oh, 1,000% not. No chance I'll spend money, but I will watch it. I'm super excited to watch it.
Didn't
but
you go
I'm not
get the
gonna...
Dune one?
No, I did go see Dune. The only bucket I have is actually still up there. It is the Wolverine and Deadpool bucket.
Oh,
they're
okay.
expensive. They're crazy expensive. We did
buy
the
I do not
Fantastic
care
Four
about the
cup.
popcorn bucket.
We did do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So now I'm the crazy one for asking. You're like, well, I do have the Wolverine, Deadpool, and the Fantastic Four popcorn bucket. But
yeah, I'm just saying it's not big.
Didn't you go to try to get the Dune one and they were sold out? Am I wrong about that too?
Definitely wrong.
Popcorn buckets you could have had? Okay.
Yeah, no, wrong about that. No buckets on there.
My bad.
Not going to lock into that. But yeah, you're going to have a little bit more time. But we have those reference points. We've got our home league, which actually is going to be the next episode. We're going to be live streaming, or not live streaming, but we're going to be recording for an episode of what we do for our live, which is a little bit different for that league. Reference points in the episode. I just completed the Fantasy Pros League, and we've got, some more that are in the works. TGFBI is out. So those are our reference points as we're going to be answering your questions. So yes, anybody hanging out live, we don't know, it's kind of a little bit of a random thing. We did post it on our Patreon, but other people don't know when they're going to flow in. You're welcome to drop any questions that you've got, except about how tan I look. Welsh looks tan, except the eye orbits. Yes.
Well, that's where you have your sunglasses, right?
Yes, I've had my sunglasses, and I've actually attempted to not wear the sunglasses at points, but it's bright. It was
now hold on
today.
Do you have, because I've had this before, do you have the white trashy backward hat line right there where your hat is? Yeah, not as bad,
it's not showing right now, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty. Listen, I'm doing the Lord's work out here. I'm seeing these guys. I'm trying to get extra work. It's 100 degrees out there. It's an unloved.
I heard it's really hot right now.
It is crazy, crazy hot. Also hot on the Patreon. We've mentioned it a couple times. Last big weekend. I'm actually going to be working on this today, and I will also be working on it on Friday to make sure the redraft ranks are posted and updated for your draft weekend. So if you want up to the minute draft ranks, if you want prospect, if you want dynasty, first year player, plus we've got group me rooms. It's similar to Discord, great community. You have access to us. All of that's at our Patreon. You are also directly supporting Bogman and I. Look at Bogman's cat. If you look on video, if you're watching here, Bogman's cat there, you are feeding that cat. If you don't like animals, then don't support us on Patreon. If you do like animals, you're supporting feeding his cat, my children, and this podcast, and we love you for it. We see every single name. we etch it into a time capsule so we can come back at some point and see what the good people are. When the rapture happens, we'll go back and like, these are the good ones. So go to inthisleague.com,
We'll
in this league,
be here. So.
inthisleague.com, sign up. We love you. Thank you so much. All right. We're going to get to the questions. Like I said, we don't have any live ones. That's okay, because we've got a host of ones on the Patreon, but a couple notes that I do want to put down here going into this big draft weekend. Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez had a little bit of a scare, and it looks like it's nothing, right? I think they said they're not even bother with like a scan or anything like that. They're moving on, which is all good. But I did a live Q&A on Fantasy Pros today, and dude, we had somebody that was like, okay, I've got the 5th pick. I'm deciding between, it was like Acuna and Ellie. I won't even consider Jose Ramirez. And I was like, what? And then I bring it to Arico, and Arico's kind of like, yeah, I'm taking Acuna over Ramirez. And then he lists out all the reasons why you could be worried. And then I'm like, well, are you? He's like, I don't know. And I'm not like baffled all the time. I was actually kind of blown away by this Jose Ramirez discourse. I get that he's 33.
Hold on, real quick. Can I just do something for you? Since 2020, can I give you the games played for Jose
Well, no, that's
Ramirez?
what. Hold on, let me set up the thing. Yes, because that's you're going to get to my point here. But what I'm getting at is 6 to 7 years ago, people were like, no, if he can like do the thing and he can keep doing it. He's continuously had kind of this like okay profile. He doesn't really like hit the ball super hard. His average EVs or whatever. He doesn't barrel the ball a ton. Like I said, the hard hit numbers are low, but he gets the ball in the air. He makes a ton of contact. And to my point, the pillar of consistency. So Boggs, please check in, because all of the concerns, it feels like everyone asked the same question for 7 straight years, but let's hear it.
Okay, so 2021, 152 games. By the way, out of 60 games in 2020, 58, right? 152 in 21, 157 in 22, 156 in 23, then 158 in 24, 158 last year.
Brother, he's the Iron Man.
His low in homers in that group is 24. His low in RBIs is 80. His low in stolen bases is 20. So you're getting 24, 80, 20. I don't think I see his batting average. I'm on Yahoo.
It's like 266, 255 is the lowest he's had in that entire time with multiple 3. He is the modern day Iron Man. He plays the games. He hits somewhere between 25 and up to 39 homers. He steals somewhere between 20 and 40 stolen bases. He hits for a high average. And yes, he's got some like things if we're just a profile looker. And we look at the profile and we just focus, because I do it all the time. I'm like, oh, the hard hit and and those things make me feel really good. But like the guy gets the ball in the air. The results are always there, despite. Sometimes there's just a despite thing. And I didn't know what the argument could be. I was just like, okay, he's getting older, but what changed? And it was just so weird. It wasn't, and Arico wasn't making it out like, oh, he shouldn't be drafted, blah, blah, blah. For Jose Ramirez, it was more like, yeah, I like this guy, and I kind of see the arguments to be concerned, and people overplay him because of third base, and this other guy's saying I won't draft him, and I just was like, wow, I've got him above those guys. I think that Jose Ramirez is an absolute lock, and if anything, I was looking forward to a tiny bit of a discount where people start to freak out because there's a little ding next to his name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if I get the 5th or 6th pick in the home league tomorrow, don't expect that discount. So it ain't gonna be there. Dude, so I don't understand it at all. Like Stephen Vogt said today, well, Jose woke up and said he felt much, much better. So we don't need any imaging. Like that should be the end of it. Right.
But I'm not even sure if like it was all about, hey, the injury stuff. It was just like, nope, I don't like this or I don't like that. And it's just like, I don't know, guys, he doesn't strike out. He hits for average. He scores lots of runs. And then it was like, oh, well, the team context, he always has a bad team. Like all the arguments against him, it's always been the case. And he always produces. Maybe it is falling knife. Maybe this will be the year, but it really just kind of, it took me back. It took me back that, that Jose Ramirez was somebody that people were trying to avoid. But the imaging looks okay. We did the Fantasy Pros League, the company league. It was 8-man. There was kind of an argument against it. I think you maybe saw. I don't know if you saw some of it.
I didn't see any of it, but Fitz came in hot the other day. When
It was Fitzy that Fitzy was trying to maybe create a revolt in the company about it. That instead of 3 8-man leagues, let's just do 2 12-man leagues.
I mean,
which I would have done the 2 12, but I'm not the boss there for that. I don't mention that. But in the 8-man, it's an auction. My favorite thing on the planet. It was nice though as an 8-man because it only finished in 2.5 hours. But Boggs, this was my start in it, and I'm saying this is relative to the Jose Ramirez conversation. My first 5 players in an 8-man league, by the way, here's strategy talk. You have to go studs and scrubs to save your money in an 8 or 10-man league. In auction is absolutely asinine. Don't do it. The player replacement pool is so much better than you would expect. Go in hard. So here's what I did. I bought this is in order. I think of who I bought. Julio Rodriguez at $31. I got Tarek Skubal at $44.
Yep.
Kyle Tucker at 27, which
was
insane.
That's
Jose Ramirez at 45.
Bought the dip.
And then I got Francisco Lindor under 30 because of the dip. So those are my 5 starting was Lindor, Ramirez, Tucker, who did I say? Julio and Tarek Skubal. And then I ended up getting Chris Sanchez as my number 2 pitcher. Freddie Peralta is my number. I went out on it. But I didn't shy away. I wasn't going to shy away from Jose Ramirez.
Who's your bench? Just a bunch of nobodies?
Well, I had some incidents going on, so it ended up I had an $8 Trevor Story, which I did not want, but
$8 for Trevor Story is not bad.
I got Will Smith for $1 in that league. Catcher.
Jeez.
Those dudes spent $50 on Cal Raleigh. They spent $20 on Adley Rutschman, and I got Will Smith for $1.
I mean, if you're going to spend that much on Cal Raleigh, he has to hit a homer for every dollar you spend on him. I feel like.
Yeah, that's kind of a good point. But my point to all of this is I did not shy away, and nor did multiple people in that league on Jose Ramirez. I don't understand the discourse around it. It was a very, very small thing on the live stream, but I just had not heard specifically the guy being I am not considering Jose Ramirez whatsoever. But stuff is clean with him. That's a good positive. Other news, Seiya Suzuki has been cleared to resume light workouts and has not officially been ruled out for opening day after hurting himself in the WBC. So I guess that's a pseudo positive. He will probably come at some version of a discount this weekend, I'm going to guess. I don't know.
Yeah, he should. I mean, at least that one's real, right? There's a PCL strain there. I don't think it's going to cause him to miss a lot of time, though. So we'll see.
Other news and notes just for this going into this weekend, and then we're going to get to the live questions. This I thought was really important. Corbin Carroll hit a homer today. And why that's important for Corbin Carroll hitting that homer is we had some serious concerns about the hamate bone and what and if the hamate bone would take away from the power. That's kind of a common thing when the hamate gets taken out. It could take a little while to readjust. There can be an adjustment of power. 105 off the bat. He hit a homer today. That makes me feel really good. 113 off the bat in his first game back.
Special axe handle bat.
This is because I was a little bit worried the other day when he was just I'm dealing with it and axe handle, all this stuff. I feel like he's getting into a comfort zone, and these hamate guys are coming at a bit of a discount. I still love Corbin Carroll in the second round. So that deal that you can get where you can get him, if you're in a 10-man league and you can pick 8 and then around whatever that would be 12, you can get him. Or in a 12-man league, you pick 9 and I'm targeting him in the second round. I'm also not super afraid to take him on the wheel. If it's Carroll, Tatis, Caminero, those type of guys, give me Carroll and Caminero probably all over the place.
And I think that just the shorter the league, the higher you're taking Corbin Carroll, right? Because your risk matters less. So
I don't think there's a way. See, I battle with that whole where people are well, in a 10-man, I'll do this, and that, but in a 15, and it's
I mean, that's if you want to play it safe. The problem is the deeper you go, the less is on the wire to replace these guys when they get hurt. That's my whole point.
Yeah, I understand. No, and I understand that. And I think there are some guys that argument. I think Zach Wheeler in a 15 team, like if he ends up being your SP2, that's a lot more risky. I'm avoiding like Blake Snell way more in those 15s and stuff like that. But Carroll, to me, he's out there. Like he's going to make opening day. Like that's one I'm just not afraid in any format to adjust. So I am totally down with that. A couple other notes for us. Chase Burns. There's some really negative discourse around Chase Burns, but it was more about that he threw a lot in spring. But then there's this weird. There was this like false report that was floating out that he like was going to be sent back down.
It wasn't a report. It was Trent C. Rosenkratz, who's written for that fat MFer on the end. That's who.
Yeah, no, he's the big Reds.
Right. He's been a Reds guy forever, and he did a roster projection for the Reds, and he left Chase Burns off. So it wasn't like a report from the team or anything.
I saw some garbage report that was out there. It was saying the Reds planned to option him, and it was like fake and whatever.
Oh, God.
He's already.
I didn't even see that. That's absurd. I hate that happens.
Well, I am pretty sick of the gotcha thing people are trying to do on the internet all the time. Where like they can fake any type of report, but he'd just been throwing a lot, and they wanted him to back off because they want to make sure he's healthy into the season. So I'm going to take the discount. Maybe I'm just going to be short-sighted, dude. Give me the discount. I don't think there's anything to worry about here with Chase Burns. You don't think it's uncommon in spring for them to front load, start up and rev down, and guys don't pitch sometimes until March, like they do weird stuff in spring. Like, I don't think it's crazy to say, hey, we had him throw a whole bunch and then now we want to like taper it down for the season. Cause you want 150, 160 plus innings out of this guy. I see no issue with it. And I don't think there's any like real performance-y based things that are following too much. He had a really good bullpen the other day. I think he's pitched today or is pitching tomorrow. So give me all the discount on Chase Burns, but I know there was some negative stuff with him. I don't know if anything changed with you. If you're
no, I haven't made too many adjustments recently, honestly. Only injury stuff. And I don't think that, a bad report and specifically a fake report is not going to kill my enthusiasm for a good young pitcher. So
not even, I mean, the fake report outside of that, there is the like Reds being like, hey, we want
to. So he starts in the minors. How long is he down there?
Well, he's not starting in the minors.
I understand, but let's just on a whirlwind, whatever weirdness, he starts in the minors. Like, how long is he down there? A month?
Yeah, I mean, I can't even envision that, but yeah, you're probably right. Like a month, couple weeks or something like that. But they've already assured he's in the rotation, so that is not an issue. If anything, remember wasn't it Yuri a couple years ago where like, didn't they send him down like right around the All-Star break for like 2 weeks, and then he had so they were able to get like one or two.
They wanted him to stay, I think, on his
schedule, but it was in the minors and then the All-Star break, and then he came back and he still had like the whole run to go with it. Like, I'm just not worried about it, and I'm going to invest in him. And please give me a freaking discount. A couple others though. This is interesting with the Dodgers. First, Dave Roberts said Wednesday that Roki Sasaki will be in the rotation after a very shaky spring. And today, like an hour ago, as we're recording this, they optioned River Ryan, which I'm kind of surprised about, because I thought River Ryan would be a guy that they would lean on. They are not. They optioned him, and they're saying Roki Sasaki is going to get an opportunity in the rotation. I am still a firm out. If he goes and becomes the best pitcher in the world, egg on my face. But I'm out. I laugh and think of when Lance Brozdowski joined on the Fantasy Fest and Fantasy Pros, and I brought up Roki Sasaki, and immediately it was like, yeah, he's a really good reliever. That's like the thought of him. I'm just out. But for you, is there any, like, now that he's going to start in the rotation, he'll be a starter, is there any desire to try to draft him because he's cheap?
No, this really, really to me feels like, okay, we went and we spent on this big international superstar, and even though he's not pitching well, we have to try to make this work. So I think that is what this is. I don't think that this is something where it's like, oh, well, we really believe in him, and maybe it works for them. I think you have to prod him along and try, but at least when he crashes and burns and you have to move him to the bullpen, you say, hey, look, we tried. We did this. It was the beginning of the year.
You
And it's
have
not-
to. The money you spend on these
Yeah.
young guys, like that's why
Let him fail and then put River Ryan in.
you
right?
got at
That's what
every
it is.
opportunity, let this guy try to be a starter. It's the same thing that I kind of think. I don't think it's necessarily going to go that way, but with Mizorowski, like some people are like, "Oh my god, it's just a reliever," and like I think he's going to be shaky. You got to let him try at all costs
Yes.
because the value of them being a starter is so much more immense than a relief pitcher. That you've got to just see like, can you do it? And if it doesn't work, you can put them in there. And I think people are on both sides. Islayer in here said, and by the way, used the Welch thing. By the way, my son did that the other day. He saw the Sodas and he's like, Welch, isn't that? And I'm like, don't, dude. I'm like, that's the joke. It is always a mistake, but it is Welsh.
Welch
not
is.
Welch.
Let's
But,
just
well,
call that
yeah.
autocorrect. That was
Welch
clearly
is an
autocorrect.
Islayer out on Roki, and I just don't have any interest in it. And with this report, people are going to. But the little bit more scary one is maybe I'm trying not to freak out, but Emmett Sheehan, velo was down, and I guess Erika was saying that Nick Pollock was scaring everybody because there was like some significant velo down, and I guess the spring
For who
numbers,
is this? I'm sorry?
This is for Emmett Sheehan, the other Dodgers
Okay.
pitcher. He's averaging around 93.5, where he was like 95 last year. So I don't love if Sheehan is going to be a mile to a mile and a half down. So
What is spring numbers?
it was like 90. Well, are you talking velo or just like stats?
No, I just mean his actual numbers. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I mean, I could Fangraphs. By the way, I like how Fangraphs has it readily
I do like
available,
that.
but Baseball Savant doesn't. Like, why is that? Like, if you go to Fangraphs, you will see right under their last year stat line is the spring stat line. That's super convenient just to give you some glances, and it'll give you whatever applicable spring data is out there. Baseball Savant, it's a witch hunt. Like
He's
just
thrown 6 innings.
well, yeah, I totally agree. It's like super small sample sizes. I also like some of this is ramp up. Like the Dodgers,
A lot
are
of it,
weird.
I feel like, is ramp up.
But yeah, the
6
Dodgers
innings.
but the Dodgers are extra weird. Like, how much are they? Do they want their starters when they've got 40 of them that they're going to put out there and they're going to help pitch them 120 innings? How much do they want them to press like full velo out? That maybe that's me, like making an extra case for them. I'm still
Sure.
drafting Emmett Sheehan, but I think I maybe want a little bit of discount because the velo thing it's in my brain.
We did this with Zach Greinke for like the last 6 years of his career, where it was he went into spring, he would throw 86, 88. Everybody, oh my God,
Well,
velocity's
he's a little
down. He's
different.
terrible. I feel like he was doing it kind of on purpose too. But then we get in the regular season and he'd be back up to normal. It's 6 innings pitched for him at Sheehan. I just cannot take that seriously.
No, you're not
No.
wrong, but he averaged 95.6 last year. In spring right now, he's averaging 93.8. So it's almost
How many
2 miles
innings
per
did he
hour
have
down.
in spring last year? That's
Oh, I'm
another
not
question.
looking at last spring. I'm looking at
Right.
the season.
So
I'm talking
okay,
his season
okay,
numbers,
okay,
not
okay.
spring. That's nothing to do with spring. 95.6 in season was his average fastball velo. This spring, he's averaging 93.
Can you look by game on his average velo? On the game log?
You'd have to go to like the Baseball Savant on you could do it, but you'd have to go to Baseball Savant, find the game log, but you have to do the StatCast game log data. It's a whole
Okay.
thing. But either way, he's down 2 miles per hour on his fastball, 1 mile per hour on his slider. And how much can we like make a case that that's just, the adjustment? That's just like, the spring. Blah, blah, blah.
I'll say that I'm, again, a lot with the spring. You want to ignore the spring most of the time. You don't want to ignore the spring when it's something significant. You're down 4 to 5 miles
You
per
put
hour.
the spring on a pedestal, is what you're saying.
I think
Right, I
they
understand.
might be a little bit, and it's the only information we have right now. So I understand that, right? Like I'm not attacking anyone for having this. He is down in velo. That's a fact.
Velo's about the only thing in spring with a pitcher that I would be focused on. So that's why I don't want to be dismissive of it. This would be the thing that I'm like, because I don't give a crap about your ERA, your walks, your strikeouts. I don't care about what that looks like in spring. I do care about what your velo looks like. And for him to be down, it does raise some questions.
And I forgot his first start in the bigs last year was in June. So
yeah. And he knew he was in like a shorter amount of time. And you wonder if they might have even said you need to back off a little bit to be able to maintain the whole season. I don't know. It is putting a little bit of a question, and I probably will drop Sheehan maybe down a tiny notch because I was pretty aggressive on him. And then the last bit of news going in is that Caleb Durbin, according to Caleb Durbin, he's been named the Red Sox starting third baseman. So I think that's that's wheels up for Caleb Durbin. I think there's definitely a case that I think there's a case that he could be a 15-30 guy this year. The ATC projections were 130 something games, 10 homers, 21 stolen bases. I think he could be a 15-30 guy. It might be a massive deal at the end. And for him to have that gig, just watch out. Really, really good late pick to have. Maybe that's going to be a question you guys are going to have. This is picking up on a few of the big important notes for the last week as we go into the big weekend. But now it's time to hear from you guys. We have got a set of questions that our Patreon people have dropped. I have no idea what they're going to look like. There's probably going to be some prospect dynasty stuff, hopefully some redraft stuff. We've got some people here live with us on the Twitch and the YouTube. Again, youtube.com/inthisleague and twitch.tv/inthisleague. Feel free, drop any questions. Some of our boys, our boy Jag is in here. Boy John G just showed up. Jag, apparently I'm tan maxing. I am tan maxing all over Bogman. I'm just tan maxing you on this live stream, so I deeply apologize for it.
My screen is black maxing, black hoodie, black background.
Yeah, you're cat maxing me though. You're animal maxing me, which I don't appreciate.
Cat maxing. Yes.
Yeah. Captain's in the live stream. We got a lot going on. I see some of our dudes are doing Moonlight. So any questions for anything as far as fantasy baseball goes, this is the episode for it. Drop those and let's rock with it. So create a little cool transition for us here on the live into the podcast. It's all of you guys coming up next.
The In This League Podcast Network.
Again, inthisleague.com is the Patreon where you can literally show us your love. We can be bought, and we are bought by you. And hopefully hang out in season with us. Want to spend more time with you guys. I honestly also, spring is over. The spring training is over. Like that's taking up a lot of my time.
It's done.
What am I going to do with my life? I need you guys. So I need more of you here. I need you to make me do more things, and I need you to want to hang out with me. Otherwise, I will go insane because I have no other way to take up my time. I work from home. Now I can't. I have to be home. I have to stay home all the time, Boggs. I can't go out.
Aren't there things to do outside? You know, like no, I got to go do the thing by the thing. It's also too hot. Do
you know what it was? I took my kids to their dance class. It was
$400.
Also, if you want to make me not lose my mind, I have to help pay for dance. So I would love if you came to Patreon. You know how hot it was? It was 108 degrees on my car.
What?
Yeah. And now maybe it's
not even April.
Tell me, brother. God. So I can't go anywhere. So I need you guys in thisleague.com. Make sure sign up, and we'll do stuff like this where we drop the Q&A. All right. So I have got some questions. A few people, one of our dudes, Ave, I'm going to just say Ave, I might be saying that wrong, has dropped. And no one needs to put in questions multiple times. Like Concase, I already got your questions starred, but we got a cool couple questions in here. I see some dynasty-based stuff, whatever it is, redrafts. I'd love to get some redraft, draft strategy players that you're doing for your redraft that are coming up here. But drop them in the chat. We're going to talk about them. But we do have some questions from our Patreon. So let's start there, Bogman. And let's start with our boy Clint. Clint said, Luke Keeschel in redraft 5x5. Thoughts on, what's that, 2DT full season?
I think he meant second season.
Okay. He says sophomore slump or good at 4 or 5 categories. So what's been your overall take on Luke Keeschel?
I mean, Luke Keeschel is fine. I feel like he is still going high enough to where he's probably not on my radar where he's going. But I do like to get early second baseman, but you know that there's guys I like below him. I like Jorge Polanco. Matt McLean is having a killer spring. I know you're a big Marcus Semien guy. I'm a big Jose Caballero guy. So I do feel like there are other options below him that are more cost affordable, like more cost efficient. Is late. Is a good late second baseman as well. So I don't dislike second as much as I dislike third. So Keeschel, I have taken in a couple mocks. Don't hate adding Keeschel, but I wouldn't say that he's an overall draft target for me.
So our boy Luke here, 119 according to Fantasy Pros consensus ADP. Never inside the top 100. I sure feel like I have seen him go later. I feel like I've seen.
I got him
go
at
later in different spots.
121, so I'm not that far off from where he is.
Yeah,
So,
I'm a little bit dicey on him as like an overall. Just pulling up here, just because like I think the power's a little bit over inflated. I think there's like too high of expectations. There's definite batting average here. You know, low barrel, low hard hit. I mean, back to the Jose Ramirez conversation, maybe he could just make it work. You know, strong kid. If he gets the ball in the air more, if you're going to get the ball in the air, you got to pull it. It was really low, 13% pulled air percentage. He makes a bunch of contact. I just think it's like he's like a Nico Horner light. But guess what? You can get Nico Horner pretty much around the same cost. I mean, let's see. Let me pull this back up here as I'm changing screens and trying to add stuff. I want to say Nico. Where's Nico here on Fantasy Pros? Not 94. That's like what, a round difference? Would you rather go maybe a round and a half? It's like the Nico Horner that you know, who's going to steal a bunch of bases, score runs, hit for average, or the Luke Keeschel where you're like, maybe he could be maybe it could be anything. Maybe he could even be Nico Horner.
It could even be a boat.
Yeah, it could be a boat, like that type of thing. I'm fine with Luke Keeschel at discount, but I don't think I'm not targeting him in any.
Yeah, I have Nico Horner around 100, so I would obviously rather take Nico Horner. I think the floor is more guaranteed. That's all. But I don't hate taking Luke Keeschel if you can get him 20 picks later. I don't hate that. But again, I want Jorge Polanco. I want like if I've hit that, if I pass the initial wave of second baseman, Jazz, Cattell, I like Michael, I like Altuve. I don't really like Terang at cost, but he's in the top 5 still. If those 5 are gone, I'm probably not taking Nico or Keeschel. I'm probably pivoting to see how far Ozzy falls, because he typically does.
Yeah.
Or Polanco, Lowe, McLean, Simeon, Caballero, somebody later.
That's my range. I really like Brandon Lau with the big homer potential, super low ADP of like in the 200s of Yahoo. I like him a lot. I really am starting to get into this. I kind of like the idea of getting the discount Jackson Holiday and then like pair like Marcus Semien with him. Give me Semien and Holiday, and I'll take Semien until Holiday comes back. I just don't think, even though the position kind of sucks, I just don't think it's worth overpaying for anything. I think Bryce Terang's a tiny bit overrated. I freaking love Michael Garcia if he qualifies. I'm skipping most of this large group. And then it's like, give me Brandon Lau, give me Holiday, and then if I get Holiday, let me pair with somebody else. So that's kind of, we made it pretty much about like everybody but Luke Keeschel kind of, but you know, that's how it goes. Very good question there from our boy Clint. Next up is Sean. This is for deep roster daily leagues outside of the normally drafted top 250 to 300 ADP hitters. What righty lefty strong side platoon combos 2 players could be drafted to help? Ooh, okay. So yeah, it was very specific. So let's get back to overall. I'm trying to think of good platoon situations. I mean, this would have been an old Diamondback.
Dominic Canzone as a strong side platoon. I don't know. I can't remember offhand.
It'd be Robles. It would no.
Robles.
Well,
Okay.
no, it'd be Robles and Canzone. I think Canzone would be on the strong side. Robles is on the short side. I actually think that's a super sneaky ass one, and those do qualify for what he's saying. I pulled up the Fantasy Pros ADP here just to kind of get a look to see if something is sparked in here as far. Well, I mean, I'll also say when we get outside the top 250, I just want to point out I'm seeing Jake Berger and Andrew Vaughn, and those are not platoons, but I'd sure as hell take them.
Yeah,
those are guys I would want. I also like Ozuna. If we turn this a little bit into like players we like outside the top 250, those would be 3 players that kind of jump out. Zach McKinstry is definitely a platoony type of guy, but it's tough to say who he's actually platooning with.
He just plays like
McGonigal.
He just gives guys a day off. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what his deal is. McKinstry.
Nolan Shanwell is a guy that, again, I'm turning this into outside of platoons here because I'm just seeing some guys that I think I really like to draft.
Manzardo and like David Fry, maybe. Lefty-righty platoon.
I just don't think that's like a real platoon. Like, I don't know if I'm seeing a lot of platoon. I'm just like, as we're doing this experiment, I'm seeing guys that I just like. I'm like, no, instead of focusing on platoons, like,
Sure.
just give me Nolan Shanawell, give me Carson Benj at 319. Like, there's some pretty ridiculous prices there. So
Yeah, Meadows
what I
is
would
hitting
focus
low in the lineup. Him and Veerling look to split as well. So yeah, I think Canzone and Robles probably going to be my favorite to that specific question.
Yeah, no, I think it fits it because there's Canzone right here at like 361. I mean, so this is like really, really deep. And I'm not, but see, like, I wouldn't want to live in the world where I'm like, oh, go give me Robles and Canzone, and I won't draft Andrew Vaughn.
Right, right. I understand that. Yep.
Okay. All right, good question. Keep dropping your questions in. Let's do a couple live ones because I don't want the live people to think we do not hate the Twins. By the way, I love Brooks Lee. I do love me some Brooks Lee this year. I did love Pablo Lopez before he got hurt. By the way,
I mean,
I love this guy.
Yeah, Keishel's hitting third, so that's a good spot in the order to be in, right? But Buxton has to be healthy to be the catalyst because look at the rest of this lineup. It's Buxton, Bell, Keishel, Wallner, Caratini, Larnick, Royce Lewis, if he's ever healthy, Ryan Jeffers, and Brooks Lee at 9. So
not a lot of guys that I like. Yeah. To be honest with you, maybe I'm a little anti-Twin. I like some of the prospects that can come up. If Walker Jenkins gets an actual look, that's going to be exciting.
And Bailey Ober was like, he was up in velocity and now he's down again. Joe Ryan is questionable. I don't know, man. Yeah, not a lot of Twins to like this year.
Nah, seats taken. Can't sit here. All right. Sorry, my camera's in the way there. ABZ had a multitude of questions. We'll come back to some, but how about this one? What are expectations for Matt Shaw? Is he a good target? That's a fascinating question because I had stared at Matt Shaw in quite a few drafts where he just kept falling and falling. And it was getting to a point where I was like, man, do I not like Matt Shaw to this level? Shaw's put a little bit in a box where it looks at best he's going to be like some type of super util type of player. And we'll put up I'll bring up the fan graphs here so we can see the spring. But did I pull up Matt Shaw here? Oh yeah, here we go. Matt Shaw, 361 homers, 6 stolen bases so far this spring. Very positive to see low K numbers as well. That's a big thing you're going to watch for him to be able to
and high walk numbers.
Yeah, for him to be able to like sneak up into the lineups. As far as like underlying stuff, he's getting the ball in the air a ton more. That sometimes happens out here in Arizona. His barrel numbers there's some pretty encouraging things from the hard hit numbers, the launch angle, the barrel. I care about that more than the actual results, and those are pretty encouraging. But where the hell is he going to play? So do you have any optimism for him?
I mean, I do if he gets in the lineup, but it's going to take an injury. Now, Seiya Suzuki's already banged up, right? So we have that. Ballesteros is projected to be their DH, so he could get some at-bats there against
There's a platoon, by the way. Could be
lefty-righty.
And that would be the lefty-right, but he'd be on the short side of that platoon.
And they hit 8, right? Like that currently. So when he gets in against lefties, he's hitting low in the lineup. So I think the numbers are great for Matt Shaw. I think an injury boosts him a ton. But where is the injury, right? Like what can he not fill? Maybe that's only short. I think he could probably play anywhere else.
I think they were talking about him.
But
playing in like the outfield. Oh my God, I got to get rid of this. If we're looking at like the depth chart, it's only DH and then like an occasional day on the infield
because Bush, Bregman, Happ, Suzuki, PCA, Nico Horner, Dansby Swanson, none of those guys are coming out of the lineup. Yeah. So it's Ballesteros and Kelly. That's what you have right now before injury. So, maybe he gets to start at the beginning of the season if Suzuki's not playing. So maybe he plays in the outfield and he hits well and he gets to stay in the lineup more. That's a possibility. So it's not like I wouldn't take a flyer on Matt Shaw, but I think we're at the point of where it is a flyer. That's what you're doing with him. You don't need to target him to start on your team. He's a grab and hope right now.
Grab and hope. I like that term. Let's go back to some more questions. Thoughts on Dax Kilby long-term. from, is that John? Is that our boy John? Is that another
Johnny
boy John? Dax Kilby has been like hot hand prospect out there. I'm excited about him, and he has some amazingly exciting underlying data. I don't know if I'm quite in the same range as everybody else where like people are taking Kilby over Ethan Holiday without a question. I'm not saying that Kilby might not be a better guy, but I think people are leaning a lot on this like really exciting underlying data. Maybe there's a Yankee bias to it, and it's like they've pushed him up to the top 5. This is going to be make or break. Like I've been pretty firm. Like I think he's a first round. I think he's a first round, first year player. I am not overtly going nuts. I'm still taking Ethan Holiday over him. I'm obviously taking Willits and Parker. I think if you want a little bit more long-term, I could bend on Iva Arquette, maybe going after Dax Kilby, but I like Jamie Arnold. I like some of the college pitching. To me, Dax is like a 7 or 8. Like that's the range that I would want to get him, but he's got the hype of like a top 4 or 5 guy. So I think the difference, or maybe the question becomes, is he a guy I want to prioritize to draft over others? And it's not.
I gotta, is this guy going to be in, was he in the fall league?
No, Dax just got drafted.
Okay. Just got drafted. Okay.
Yeah,
if he's in, none of these prospects have asked you to buy them beer yet, have they?
never had that happen.
Okay. We got to start doing like a Deadpool on that. Like who's going to be the first prospect?
The first,
to buy a 30 pack or whatever.
It would probably end up being like some wildly like crazy guy. It's never going to be like Ethan Holiday asked for blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean those guys they got somebody else to buy it.
Yeah, they also got teammates that can all do it, right? And that's not their priority now. I have a lot of it. But this is Dak. This is Dax, 19 years old, 16 stolen bases and only 68 plate appearances. I think that's it's an overinflated, like bad low A numbers, but hit 353, 457. Obviously no homers, but there is big power potential. He had 4 extra base hits in there. Like he's a very exciting prospect, and he's going to get challenged this go round. I do think there's a little bit of a bias where people look and they see these short sample size numbers in their first full year, and they're like, holy crap, this guy, and then they're like, oh, this guy really stunk. That's not me. I'm not gonna go nuts because of a 68 at bat, but that doesn't change that he's not an exciting prospect. So again, easy top 10 first year player if that's kind of your world. And I get it. I get why people are excited about him. Concase, do you think Connor Griffin will make the opening day roster, and should I select him as a keeper over Reagans and Kirby? We get 5 total head-to-head categories. So these are 2 different questions. Yes. The first part of the question, do you think Connor Griffin will make the opening day roster? I do not. I've been pretty loud about that since November. It definitely has gotten to spots where it looked like maybe I was going to be a silly goose and wrong, but I am not on that train. And I think
he's hitting 206. He has 4 bombs.
There's been a little bit of struggle on the batting average, but also outside of the
lots of strikeouts,
no
walks and 10 strikeouts.
Yeah. And outside of that, they've like literally said that he's never, he's never been to AAA. Like it would be a challenge for him to be there. I even think if he signed a contract extension, he could still go to the minors. So I personally believe he's going to AAA. I think he's going to spend a month there. And I think it's going to be another silly thing the Pirates do because it's going to take them out of PPI. But many people in baseball think that Connor Griffin, like right now, is maybe the best player on that team. So, do they want to just let him do it at the majors? I don't know. So then, I don't know if you feel different about the opening day thing. I think you're kind of with me on that. But then now here's the bigger question. Keep him in a only 5 keeper over Reagans and Kirby. Like he's going to be up this year. Yeah. And Griffin's going to be a boss. And if he bosses out like we think he is a no doubt keeper next year. But
there's no one to keep him over Reagans or Kirby though.
He's only keeping 5, dude.
Okay, well then don't keep the maybe. Keep the sure things. So no, I wouldn't keep him. I understand the speculation, and the bat plays better than the pitching. But I'll say this: if these are your only 2 pitchers that you're keeping, I'll ask you this actually. Let me rephrase this whole thing. If these are the only 2 pitchers you get to keep, and you're keeping 5, right? Would you dump one of them to take Griffin, or would you say I would rather have the balance and keep the 2 pitchers?
Wait, you lost me on the last part.
Okay. So let's say the 3 others that he's keeping are hitters,
Yeah.
right? These are the only 2 pitchers that you can keep. Are you dumping one of those pitchers to take Connor Griffin, or are you keeping the pitchers to balance yourself?
Yeah, I mean, like in a win now, Connor Griffin doesn't help. You know what I would think? I feel like you could get Connor Griffin
He
back.
said he's keeping Wu too. Drop a pitcher, keep Griffin.
Oh, you are. So then he would have like Wu, Reagans, and what would I wonder what it would look like then? But because what you have 2 good hitters, 2 good pitchers, and then a Griffin. If this is a low, like 10, maybe a 12-team league, I think you can do it. My argument was going to be, what do I have a better chance of in the first round of drafting? Getting Cole Reagans or taking Connor Griffin? I feel like it would be Connor Griffin unless the hype is really crazy. So I kind of want to play to win now. But he's keeping Alonso, Julio, Trey Turner, and Wu. Okay, so Boggs, this is between him keeping Reagans or Connor Griffin at this point. It's not he has both of those pitchers. He only has
it's
Wu
keep
as his pitcher.
keep Griffin over both of them. No, let me keep Kirby then.
I think I'm keeping Reagans over. I think Kirby.
I
think Reagans has got more like potential.
One of the pitchers. Yeah. I just don't want to like. We both think Griffin's going to come up this year, and we think he's going to be good this year, but it's not a guarantee. And these guys that you are holding right now are guarantees. So
yeah, and I think I would attempt to keep Reagans and try to draft back Connor Griffins. You would know your league better than us if you could have it. And I know exactly which comment you're laughing about because Jag said it won't be prospects asking Welsh to buy a beer. It'll be Mark Grace.
It might be.
There's a rumor out there that if you bring beer to George Brett, you will have a very positive interaction.
Is that right?
Yeah. I think it's similar to like Easter bunnies and stuff like that.
You bring beer to the Easter bunny?
Yeah, apparently I found out there's a whole lore about leprechauns and St. Patrick's Day. I had no idea. Like little kids think you can catch leprechauns and you get gifts. And apparently,
dude, I remember one year for St. Patrick's Day, we made leprechaun traps for school.
That's what my daughter did. I've never heard that in my life. And then now I'm out more money having to fill up the
What
traps.
did you have to buy?
Yeah, I don't know. I had
green glitter.
I had to tell a story that she didn't catch a leprechaun, but the leprechaun left treats to bribe its way out of the traps. Like I've never heard about any of this. I should
have left some cash, pay for that glitter.
Yeah, Patreon, inthisleague.com. Sign up today so my daughter can catch leprechauns for sure. All right, let's keep going. Oh, Famous said Nick Pollock raving about Anthony Kay. What say you? I've had great interactions with Anthony Kay. I told the story. Kay is the one who specifically said, "Don't listen to what people are saying about Murakami."
That's
Murakami's
right.
Going to be a beast. It's Anthony Kay. I don't know. I think Kay is going to be more of a spot starter. I think he's like a reliever, but he's got really good stuff. But I'm not as excited. I think we get super excited about some of those low end guys. He's a White Sox on a bad team. He might be a really fun streamer. I mean, dude, they're Shane Smith and Sean Burke. Those are your top pitchers. Those guys are at best streamers. So I would be in the streamer market for Anthony Kay, and I will probably watch him. But if he's right about Murakami, then he's going to be a really good talent scout for sure. So we're in on him. All right, let's do, we're still answering questions live. We still got our people hanging out with here. We're seeing more people. Our boy Famous just joined in. So it's good to see you guys. Keep feeling free to drop questions, but we do have a few more from our Patreon that dropped them. Whoops. Oh, what is this thing here? All right, sorry. Jim, there's like a timer thing on StreamYard. I don't know what that was about. Jim says, any size of league, when is it appropriate to nudge and remind an owner that they're on the clock in a slow draft?
This is not bad. Okay, so this is what I'll do. If I know somebody pretty well, Welsh, and I see that they're on the clock and that maybe they didn't know it, even if it's not that long, I'll just shoot them a text and say, hey, just so you know, you're on the clock. Don't know if you saw, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, real quick, as an aside, because you called me out.
I was just saying you as an example.
Oh, okay. But I was going to say you would agree, but I'm not disagreeing with you because I've had my moments of this, but you would agree.
Me too.
When you send me said text, I draft within 3 minutes because
usually,
almost 90%, maybe 80%.
And these days,
I
think
see it.
I wait till you're down to the last 30 minutes to text you. If I see it before that, unless I know that you're in something, and that's because we know each other's schedule because we work together.
Yeah.
So, but I would say in general, if you see they're on the clock, it never hurts. Send me a text every time if you have my phone number when I'm on the clock. I want to know. I get 1,000 emails a day, so I don't see the email when it comes in usually. Yeah, I'm trying to clean up my email, but that's impossible.
So it's a little tough if this is like there's 8-hour slow clocks and there's 2-hour.
If there's 8 hours, then they have no excuse. They should pick. You don't need to tell them.
If it's 8-hour, well, no, but that's the whole point. Like when's appropriate to
You're gonna prod them. Yeah,
I will in a big 8-hour one, I would prod them after 2 hours. In a 2-hour clock, I'm probably gonna prod when it gets under an hour and send a reminder. And then if it's a regular thing, I'll probably just keep doing it.
And I'll say this: it also matters how close you are to the season starting. If we were doing a slow draft in February, piss off. I don't want to hear about it, right? Like, honestly, like we're so far away. I don't want to hear from the guy that wants to make his pick so fast every single time.
Yeah, but if the guy's picking 7.5 of the 8 hours, like they are killing the fun of that. I do think there's an element to that. Some things happen. If you have 2 picks and it takes the whole time, but if you have a guy that takes up 75% of the clock every single time.
Like that guy that was like, I'm going to take all the clock because it matters so much. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I hope that guy stubs his foot.
But
like
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
if you're being a dick about it, then like
that's really annoying. But if you guys are trying to get this done fast and trying to get the slow draft done before the season starts, then yeah, prod all.
Just be nice.
Prod all you want. Yeah, exactly.
I gotta do this stuff all the time.
Rule number 1, forever for always, should don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. That's the ITL rule for life. I have to do the P180P drafts like 3 times a year, and I got industry guys. And I just like politely am just like, hey, FYI, you're on the clock. That's all. And they all think because they're all busy and stuff like that. Like, just be cool about it.
Yeah.
Don't be like, bitching about it and calling people out. What's this guy's deal? Like, I think
watch Jim tell us we're on the clock somewhere right now. Just so you guys know, you're on the clock.
Oh, that would be okay. Great advice, guys. Welsh, you're on the clock. So, all right, Justin, why do you prefer snake drafts over auction?
Time.
Yeah, the easiest answer is time. It is auction. I
actually prefer an auction, but they're 4 hours.
I did an 8-team auction yesterday, and it took 2.5 hours. If you do a 12 or 15, they take. Dude, Bogman had to fill in for me for my
I should
Scott
get
White. So check this out. Scott White Dynasty League is a 24-team auction. Almost all your players are all set, and I think it was still like 3 hours for Boggs.
Van Rod, what's good? Yeah, look, I should be given a medal of patience and just love that I have for the Welsh for doing this for him, because there was also an issue with the system. We had to redo about, I don't know, 15% of the players that were in the auction as well. So that was
it's only time. Like, dude, Van Rod is just said she's got an auction coming up on Saturday at 10:45 p.m. Okay, I hope you're cool going to bed at 3. I know Van Rod's up late.
If you need to tag me in Van Rod, I'll be there.
Yeah. Van Rod's rocking some gaming on her Twitch late at night and stuff like that. But you're gonna get done at 3 p.m. It is literally only time for me. Auctions are great. Listen, I
prefer them honestly. Like the format. Good. I prefer I think it's more fair. Everybody has the same amount of money. You could get any player you want if you're willing to spend on them. You don't have to be stuck in a spot. I think auction is more fair, but taking up 5 hours of my life is not very fair.
That's the only thing. I am pretty damn good at auctions. Bogman and I, we do the pentathlon. It's football thing. I think we've won the auction based version 3 straight years, or we've been in the top 3 straight years. We kill that. I mean, it's a combination of our strategy and stuff. I'm pretty damn good at auctions, but I lose my mind. So that's it. That's literally the only reason behind it. And if I wasn't in this industry and I just did like 2 leagues or 1 league or something like that, and Bogdan was like, hey, we're gonna do an auction. Sure. I'll just put all my attention into it and I'll kill it. But it is, for me, it's just about time. So lose my goddamn mind. Lieutenant Don, we'll get back to a couple more of the live listener questions. Feel free to drop them. Lieutenant Don says, of all the pending prospects, who do you think has the potential to be this year's Jared Kelnick? All the hype in the world, but doesn't pan out. You know, it's hilarious. I just saw Kelnick 2 days ago. He's a White Sox now,
I thought
training
you
to
insurance.
trying to make the roster still, and he's still cranky and all that type of stuff. Of the pending
Was
prospects,
Kelnick the one that was like, I'll just never read the analytical stuff?
No, that was Taylor Trammell.
Taylor
Trammell was super. Well, no,
neither one of them.
No, I'm sorry. Taylor Trammell told me he wasn't interested in it, and that probably has changed. It was Alec Boehm who was like, nope. Right. He couldn't have been more disinterested. He is specifically in season, which, seems like a pretty important time.
I use all the tools you have in the toolbox, man.
Yeah.
Like
maybe that's changed. I don't know, but
I'm sure it has. There's such an emphasis on it, and you're getting better data now as well. It has to have changed.
But of all the so what you're getting at is a prospect that's in the majors. God, that's a tough question. I mean, to be honest with you, if you want like a 1-for-1, it might honestly be like I don't think this will happen, but like the perfect example to it would be Jack Caglianone. You know what I mean? Like all the hype in the world, like because Jared Kelnick was like the next coming.
Great spring too. So
yeah, like that would be, I think, the best like 1-for-1 example. But I don't think that will happen with Cags. I think he's going to ball out. I'm just trying to get.
I mean, would it be Connor Griffin if we wait a month or two for him to come up and then he just doesn't do anything?
I just don't think that's going to happen. It's just someone that's just going to continuously like fail and fail.
Well, I mean, but he's saying just for the season, right?
Yeah, but I think what he means is like who is the guy this year that's going to turn into what Kelnick is?
Okay,
like not just this year, but of the prospects this year.
Let's do it this way then. I'm going to ask you this question a different way, and I think it'll be easier for you to answer. Who in the top 30 prospects are you lower on than it seems like everybody else in the industry?
I mean, again, we also have to. I think the term prospect here is a guy that's in the majors, not like a guy that's 2 years away. So we can't.
Okay, sure, yeah. Not anyone that isn't at least sniffing the majors right now. Gross term, but
yeah. And I'm trying to I want to get this right because I think it's a super interesting question. Okay, maybe but see, I just don't know if many guys have the hype of Jared Kelnick, but the two that jump out to me are like Bryce Eldridge and Sammy Basayo. But I still don't even know if they have that Kelnick.
I don't think they
He
do.
was coming when he was coming up. Like literally, it's got to be it would have to be like McGonigal. It would have to be one of those
Weatherholt.
To fit that mold. So I don't know. It's a great question, Don. It's a super great question. I don't think I have a great answer for it, but I would say I feel like the closest version of that is even though he's not prospect eligible, it would be like Jack Caglianone would be in that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe is there a guy that you think is going to be rushed up just because the team doesn't have anyone in Pittsburgh, LA, Miami, somewhere?
There. You know what? Here could be the guy, Charlie Condon. I think Charlie Condon's going to get rushed. I don't know if TJ Rumfield is. Some people really like him, but I think Charlie Condon's a guy that's going to get up to the majors really soon, and he could fail. And he's
famous. Hopefully, no one. He's right about that. But Charlie Condon is a good one because it's just like the Rockies have nobody and no one's interested to go to Rockies.
Well, here's a funny thing.
Pulling him up at some point.
On the other end, Mummert said, who's this year's Nick Kurtz, a.k.a. prospect who comes up in a month and just shows out?
That could be Connor Griffin.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunities for that. Okay, the one I'm going to stick with is Bazana. I think it could be Ryan Waldschmidt. Connor Griffin's a super easy answer because I think he gets option. He comes up and he goes ballistic. It would be better to pick because Nick Kurtz got drafted and then came up the next. It would be better to pick someone who just got drafted. But I don't.
There's
think
no one in that category, right?
The closest version of that would be like Cade Anderson, who could come up pretty soon. But I'm going to say Travis Bazan is a guy that can come up and he's going to ball out and just kind of show people what's up.
How is he not a professional skater, by the way?
Oh, because of his name?
Such a skater name. Bazana.
Yeah, kind of is. He's just Australian. He's Australian, dude. What's up, boy? I don't know who this is from. But what's up, boys? 2 questions. First is a keeper question. Head-to-head points league can keep 6 players. I'm keeping Acuna, Ellie, Kurtz, Kemenare, and Langford. For the 6th keeper, I can keep Wu, Regans, or Freeman. I'm guessing that's Freddie Freeman. Answer is Wu.
Yes. Yep. I'm with that as well.
Was there a second question in there?
I think there is. And I can double check and find out. But no, I put it on a new banner. So
Where's the banner?
It's on there somewhere. It'll say I think it starts second question, but let's see.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was Larry.
Larry, that's who it is.
That's
Yeah,
who
yeah.
it was. Let me take out this timer thing. Second question: is it me or does Justin Fields and William Contreras look like identical twins? Thank you. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a tiny bit.
Question.
Yeah, that's a pretty good question. I'm not sure that I'm not seeing it. I know what you're getting at, but no, I don't think they're identical twins. One of them has a job, so that's the other thing.
Nasty.
Mummert also said, also, I know Welsh hates auctions. That's hilarious. But I have 5 of them in the next. Dude, you're a psychopath, dude.
Did he take the week off of work to do all those auctions? Like, that's a lot of work, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I hope you don't want to see your family. How do you feel about price enforcement in the early mid rounds to force others to spend an extra few?
It's dicey.
My most important thing here, because here's one of my favorite things on the planet in auctions. I love screwing the price enforcer. It is my favorite thing to do because there's always a guy that's a total dick who wants to be the price enforcer. And I love recognizing when I can get them because they're annoying about it. To that though, I will price enforce, but it is a player that I 100% am comfortable having because I hate the price that they're going at. I don't agree with the price. That happened with me with Kyle Tucker in the one. I wasn't targeting Kyle Tucker. I was gonna go after like
$29,
but he went for way too cheap, and I had to have him. So when I price enforce, I will price enforce players I'm not into on the lower levels. And then my real price enforcement is a player that I got to be comfortable having that I think is an egregious amount. So I'm okay with it, but just know there are also people out there in your drafts like me. If you become the blatant, obvious price enforcer, I'm going to try to stick you. I will. I get the most enjoyment, almost more. I'd almost in some points when someone's being the worst, I will have more fun losing the league, but knowing I screwed up their draft plan because I hate them.
At least everybody now knows that they can put you on tilt during a draft. So
no, you know what? You're just going to make me have a better time because then I'm going to get to just now screw them and price enforce, and I will be okay. Because that's my new thing. I won't be like, oh man, this didn't work out for me. I'll just think about
what an ass
blow up
the auction was.
That's exactly. Just blow up the whole.
I feel like this is directed directly towards me, but
you've definitely done it before.
I don't think we have any auctions this year, so I don't have.
We have no auctions. I've definitely done it to you. Tried to do it to me before, and I remember it was one year you got stuck with like 4 quarterbacks or something in a football league.
No, that was Matt. That was my boss, not me.
Oh, okay, yeah. There was someone that was trying to price enforce somewhere, and it was just very funny. All right, what else do we have here? Let's go to some of the live questions. We are there. Alan said there's a lot of truth in here. Yep. There is a lot. That is my favorite thing to do. Troy. 12-team keeper. James Wood in the 7th or Buxton in the 19th, 30 rounds.
Ooh.
James Wood.
Yeah, I still think it's James Wood. Buxton in the 19th is a great deal, but I think you have to think long term. I would ask this if you're in here, Troy, or if you want to answer back at some point on the Patreon or whatever. I would wonder, like, do these guys move up in rounds by year? Because if it's a 7th for Woods, but next year he's going to be a 4th or a 3rd, then maybe not. Maybe Buxton is a better deal because he's going to be a value at 19, 15, 11, whatever. Like if you're moving up 4 rounds, 3 rounds, however it is in your league. So that matters in this. But I think if this is it, this is where they stick. It's James Wood in the 7th.
Is that they move up 2 rounds every year. So
that my only argument, closer, but I would still take James Wood because he's so young.
Yeah, maybe your clock on James is about 3 years, unless he becomes like a first-round player, then you can justify it. But like, is Buxton going to hold this for 3 more years? It is a super cheap cost, but I'm going to go James Wood.
If Buxton gets hurt this year, misses a bunch of games, I just think he's going to be the old guy that always gets hurt, and he has no trade value at that point and no real value either. So it's tough coming off a great year that he had this year, though. So
look at this very pointed. We know this is our John G because this question is around Astros. What are realistic expectations for Amai and Burrows, and are they worth drafting where they are ranked? That's interesting because Burrows actually came up in our live stream today, And our boy Joe Rico is very much about him. I'm definitely cool with Burrows at the back end. I think Amai is probably a little bit more of the interesting piece of the conversation. You've been pretty big on Amai so far. Velo has been very interesting in spring. It's definitely been up. I think you're going to probably easily agree that Amai is worth drafting, but what's your take on that?
I think they both are at their cost because I feel like their cost is low. Burrows obviously is kind of free and he's had a good spring, but he's becoming like a more interesting pick in the late round. So maybe you have to fight a little bit to get him. I feel like it's just kind of sitting there. I feel like there's one or two people that are in on him in every league. And that's just kind of how it goes. But is this Amai that you pulled up here?
This is Amai spring stuff. I was trying to see if because we can get Velo on these guys, but because there's no prior, they are not giving Velo numbers on Fangraphs on him. But so far this spring, three starts, 6 innings, hasn't given up an earned run. He's kept the batting average down. I mean, his fastball's been crazy. The questions on the reverse slider. I think everybody's just kind of like weird about him. I know Eno was, trying to say like he thinks this can work. I think I'm probably drafting Burrows a little bit more on the back. I haven't drafted him once, to be fair. So you know what? Burrows,
he has hit 98.5 up from his typical 94 to 96 range, following a slight mechanical adjustment on the rubber. Consistently averaging 96.7 miles per hour in his third start. So,
that's encouraging. Burrow walk numbers have been up there a little bit. In spring, he is actually down a mile per hour than where he was with Pittsburgh, and his slider is down a little bit, or his sinker is down a little bit more. Slider usage is up, and he's throwing that baby 2 miles per hour harder. And we've seen some really good results. I think Burrow is just like $3.99, and that's the dude I'm taking. But I know you're an Amai guy. I have questions if it's going to work and the incentives and stuff. And not that he's super expensive, but I'm kind of a pass.
Where is Amai in ADP right now? Do you have it pulled up still?
Yeah, we can pull that up. I think it's going to be it's probably going to be annoyingly low, but I feel like let's look. 170. Yahoo's dragging it down by a lot. They've got him at 246.
So where is it most of the time?
Everybody is like 168, 165. That's so weird. How is that average working? If 5 of the 6 are like 160,
I bet you it's how many leagues. I bet you it's not just like in fifths or whatever. I bet you it's how many leagues each place has.
Okay,
and Yahoo has way more.
Okay, let me do this then. Let's look at, you want to look at the main event? Let's do that. I'm going to pull this all up here on the video. See how fun can the YouTubes be? Because we can, or even the Twitch ones, we can pull this up. NFBC, Amai, 14 main events, 169. Nice. With a min of 134. So he's gone as high as 134. 134 average are pitchers like Sandy Alcantara, Shoto Imanaga. That's about.
Would rather have Amai or Imanaga?
Imanaga.
Okay. There's probably not many names I'd say around there that you would have.
Probably not. I just don't know the viability of him as like a super successful star. Again, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to be like the person that's like, don't draft him. I have questions about where the reverse slider is going to work. That's awesome. The fastball is super good right now. I look at the incentives. If I'm wrong, I'll just be like, I was wrong, dude. And I just won't have shares. But it's just one that I'm just kind of avoiding in most spots. Let's do a couple more here. AB said, Cade Anderson was my first pick in FYPD. Do you think he will be a true ace on an MLB team? Yeah, I hope he's going to be a true ace. He's got the stuff, and he had worked in camp the entire time up until recently with the major leaguers. He had been like locked to Logan Gilbert. Incredible outing so far in spring. I think he's a guy that is going to move up. And I think if there's an injury, I think specifically if that Bryce Miller thing were to keep lingering, if that were to be a big thing or more, I would not be surprised if Cade Anderson were to make major league starts this year. I don't think he's long for the minors. I think there's a possibility he could be down all year, but I also think like in July, we could be seeing him come up because he can help this team. This team is here to win a championship, so I ain't against it. I don't know if you've watched any of the Cade Anderson spring stuff. He's been phenomenal.
No, I know he's been good, and obviously he was drafted and kind of, not a plug and play, but he's ready. like you said, I know that he's not going to spend a lot of time in the minors. So this year might be a little bit of a reach, but much stranger things have happened than that. So, I mean, what would you put it on a percentage that he's up and starting at the end of the year? Like 40%, 30%?
Yeah, I mean, what the hell do I know with that stuff? Like, teams are weird. I think there's 3 pitchers that could come up. It would be him. It'd be Bremner with the Angels and Liam Doyle. I think those guys are the most likely. I'd probably put all at best at 25%, and I put Cade at the highest. Now, I'll change if they start him at AA and he has 3 starts and they moved him to AAA. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting him in July. But if he's down at low or high A and he has 4 starts, then he goes to AA and he has 6 or 7 starts, and then he goes, then it's they're just gonna let him get his work in. But I mean, if he just dominates across the board, I think they'll move him quick. But it also their rotation is 5 guys. It's just going to be about Bryce Miller. Is Bryce Miller, is he gonna
probably an injury or Bryce Miller just tanking is what gets him up.
This is an interesting question for you, Boggs. Which unsettled closer situations are you targeting? So this is, I will caveat this while you think about it for a second. Arico and I had a closer situation or a closer question on a live stream, and we both kind of relented with the same answer of talking about a few guys, but saying this: we're both just not trying to live in the deep of, and I know that's a pretty common thing. People want to live in the mud for closers, but for me, I want Devin Williams and Daniel Palencia as my 1-2 closer, and then everything else is gravy. He wants, whoever the hell, David Bednar and somebody else. I don't love living in the uncertainty, but there are uncertain situations that jump out. One of mine, even though it's not technically titled uncertain, has been Robert Suarez. I am firmly never drafting Raisel Iglesias. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's cool. I will not draft Raisel Iglesias, but I am trying to draft Robert Suarez because I think Robert Suarez can get that gig. So that's a little bit not the question. The real unsettled ones are the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, obviously, the Rays. Those are some of the unsettled
I don't want
ones.
any of the Diamondbacks guys. I'll just start there, right? I don't want any of those guys. I think it's going to be different a lot. And if AJ Puck or Justin Martinez come back in the middle of the year, they could easily be pivoted and put right back in that closing role. So those are 2 that I just don't want any part of. I don't want Victor Vodnik for Colorado. No thanks. The St. Louis situation is, I think it's Riley O'Brien there. I think the Oakland situation is Hogan Harris is having the best spring. So I think it's probably going to be him. I have no idea who's going to be the Nationals closer.
That's dude. I mean, they think we were talking about Brad Lord or no, that
they got
Cole Henry. Cole Sands was Minnesota. Who the hell is?
Yeah, Clayton Beeter, Cole Henry are what we have here.
I think Beeter is the one people are speculating on. Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Robert Garcia, I think in Texas. I know you're a Robert Garcia guy too.
That's my favorite. Okay, good call. I'm glad you said that. That's probably mine. That's my favorite one. I am drafting Robert Garcia, even though that is a dicey one. I'm pretty firm about him.
I like Griffin Jacks for the Rays as well. I think he could easily close for them. But I mean, most of these situations are kind of figured out, right? Ken Lee is going to close for Detroit.
I feel like
Taylor Rogers from Minnesota could be a decent one. That's Taylor Rogers basically free. I mean, I know he's 100 or whatever, but yeah.
But if you take it to the closers we're targeting and you were to get a third, mine is probably Robert Garcia. I feel like you've been pretty much on Harris with the A's. I feel like that's been your.
It's just the last 2 episodes, and it's only because I went and I looked at the A's spring training stats, and he was by far of the guys listed. Can you pull up those stats, and I'll give you these 3 guys real quick. Just the A's.
Yeah, hold on. What do you want? Fangraphs?
Actually,
what are you looking for?
I think I can pull it up here on. Hold on. Let's go by teams.
What are you looking for?
I'm just looking for the spring's pitching stats for these guys. It's Harris.
Well, it's Leiter
Turner,
and Harris are the 2 that are fighting for it. It's
okay.
It's Leiter and Harris. Those are going to be those are the 2 guys.
So Hogan Harris is a 1.23 ERA in 7 appearances, 7 1/3 innings, 4 hits allowed, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts. And who was the other one? I'm sorry.
Mark Leiter Jr.
Mark Leiter. Lighter. He has a
Littering
1.80 ERA, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. His WHIP is 1.6. So
and he has experience with it, so that's why Leiter could get that. But Harris seems like he might be the forefront. But a lot of these teams have also, dude. Torey Lovullo today, he said he's going to announce the starting rotation in like a day or two, and then they asked about the closers, and he's like, well, you'll probably find out when I do. Like, and what he meant was when he puts a guy out there. Like, that's what he was getting at. Like, you'll find out when I put the guy out there. Lovullo's going to be a nightmare. Just avoid the Diamondback situation. And when I say avoid the Diamondbacks, avoid the A's, avoid draft closers that you trust. I think getting too trustworthy, it is not difficult. You don't have to go by Munoz and Edwin Diaz. It's not difficult to get Devin Williams or Ryan Helsley. And then it's not difficult to get Palencia. If you don't get Palencia, get Hoffman or get Emilio Pagan. That's the world that I want to live in. And then if you want to dip a little bit more, then go into those other guys, because the uncertainty, unless you're just going to be, it's head-to-head categories and you want to psycho it up and you just want to live in a world where you're like, all right, I've got Griffin Jacks and Riley O'Brien. You could do that, and maybe it's going to work out. There always is a couple of guys that just jump out of nowhere, and you could play that game. But I just want, especially in roto formats, I just want to have my 2 guys. Sir Anthony Dominguez is another good option. I feel more. He's in the Robert Garcia range for me, but I just don't want those guys as.
But that was like as soon as they signed Sir Anthony, it was like, okay, that's the closer, right? Like it was.
Well, Grant Taylor's going to be a closer, and if Sir Anthony Dominguez does struggle, Taylor could take it. But they gave $20 million to Dominguez, so. Also, if the White Sox are just absolute trash again, Dominguez could be someone that they trade. Yeah, they could. Diamondbacks should look at it.
It's very smart to do that too, to sign a guy that's a pretty good reliever, make him a closer, and then sell him.
Yeah, $10 million for the next year for a guy if he does ball out like that. That's the thing with Dominguez, though, is he could also be traded not a closer, but just get 2 consistent guys. I think that's like the most important.
Pay him $600,000 and trade him for 2 prospects. That's what you do.
Sure, that's what you do. All right, last thing is this, Boggs. Let me make sure I'm gonna.
We got all the Patreon. We got everything.
No, I think we got 2, but we'll just answer those after. We'll get that. This right here. This is a 128 ounce bucket of nachos that the Diamondbacks are introducing this year. 128 ounce bucket of nachos. Here is the question. Should this be consumed when we go to opening day? You, me, Joe Pisapia. Should we consume this?
No, we should not consume this. Look, I wouldn't mind taking that bucket home. The nachos are not that good anyway at the ballpark.
128 ounces.
Number 2, every toilet is an away game when I'm in Arizona. So no, I don't want to add all.
You don't have home field advantage for the.
That's right. Everything is an away game. I don't want to do that. Look, I've gone in and destroyed the family restroom at Chase Field before. Cool. I was ashamed. I don't want to go do that again.
Yeah, there's some lady who's going to probably bring her kid to change the diaper in there, and it smells like a gas station.
Yeah, it does. It did.
How much do you think that thing's going to cost?
$48.
I think I need it.
Do you have it? You don't need it. You don't have it pulled up how much it's going to cost?
It doesn't say. This is from Bill Shaken, who just literally like 20 minutes ago.
Let me see if I can get it on Google. Hold on.
Put this out here. Do we need to do a live stream like donation-a-thon or nacho-thon for the 128 ounces? This thing might be $100. This is the biggest bucket of nachos I ever seen. And you know what the problem with this bucket is, though? Here's the one problem. There won't be enough cheese. There'll just never be enough.
There won't be enough cheese. It'll take forever to make it because everybody's getting it because it's opening day.
There's no good stuff. There's no beans. There's no tomatoes in the second bottom half. It's just all on the top, probably.
My God, what are they calling this? So they only tell you where you can get it. They say it's sections 312 and 320.
Okay. So, well, I'm just saying this is one of the new food items, 128 ounce bucket of nachos. Big nacho guy.
Dude, we're going to be filled with paper plane drinks and a bunch of brisket mac from whatever that restaurant we go to before the game starts anyway.
Oh, that
So,
is true. Yeah, they do have all that good stuff. I don't know. Just putting it out there. Opening day's coming up. Joe Pisapia is coming out to Phoenix. We're all going to be hanging out. We'll probably, the three of us, do an episode together. Maybe we'll even do it live for ITL for opening day. But if you want to see some, we could do some live food reviews. Watch Bogman get sick in real time. We could
please
bring
don't pay for that.
up
I don't want to do it.
oh, look at this. Famous at hot dogs and beer only for me. So no bucket of nachos.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good rule. Like in the if you're in the stadium, you got to have at least one hot dog. I mean, come on.
I just think you got to try
America.
one of the options. You got to try one of the crazy things.
I'll try
I'm
one
just
of the
saying.
options, but here's two things that annoy me, right?
Bucket of nachos.
How much that costs? Because I'm sure it's going to be well
It's
over
going to be
$50.
so. Yeah, they had like a little helmet one that
And
was
wait,
$32.
I don't want to stand in line and wait for some crappy food that I have to pay a bunch of money for and wait. That's
Yeah.
double cost.
That is double. That is double cost. All right, fair enough. Opening day right around the corner. Your draft's right around the corner. We got you hooked up over at inthisleague.com. You want to support your boys, get the redraft ranks. I'll have, I'm actually going to try to update mine tonight, and I will do it on Friday because I will be at a dance competition, so I got plenty of time.
Ooh, dance.
Yep, trying to do some live updates on the redraft ranks, prospect and dynasty on the way. Lots of fun stuff we got planned, and we have got not a mock, but we are doing our home league draft. We are going to be recording on Thursday night, and that will be the next episode. And we've got my boy Jesse Severe's in there. We got ITL Army members. This is the home league. This is the home league for money. We are going to record that and put that up as an episode. It should be a ton of fun.
Longer picks too. It's not going to sound like a mock because we have 1 minute picks.
Yeah, we'll probably have to do some editing of some of the stuff in there because I don't know if people are going to want like a 2-hour episode of us doing the home league or whatever. But we will have that up as the episode, and then we're going to be back with it next week. We're going to be just kind of getting prepped. We might have to do some of our shares. I did a little less leagues this year, so the shares would look weird, but we'll do some predictions and shares, and then we're going to be into the
might have a secret league going this weekend too, by the way. So pay attention for that secret.
You have a secret league?
I might start a secret league.
What do you mean? What's the secret league?
Wow. Pay attention for details. That's what I'm saying.
How secret?
It's might be exclusive. Are you around on Sunday, Welsh? Sunday evening?
You know what? Sunday evening, the dance competition is done around 4 or 5.
Oh, maybe secret league.
Was it secret? Is it going to be secret fun?
It's going to be secret for captains.
Is it? Oh,
it's going to be secret for captains.
Okay, so ITL Army Captain Secret League. All right,
secret.
All right, I'm a captain. So
yeah, you're a captain.
I'm an owner. I'm ITL. So
yeah,
I'm I. You're T, and the rest is L. So there shouldn't be an issue here. So all right, I'm interested in it. I really wanted to do. I really wanted to do a pentathlon for baseball this year. I just don't know the structure of how we could put it on. If people don't know, pentathlon for football was you had a DFS, you had Pick'em, you had a best ball, you had a normal draft, and then you had like something else. I'm forgetting what it was. And I wanted to figure out what that was for baseball.
Survivor,
that's what it was. But I just don't know how we would pull it off for baseball. You could do like a weekly DFS for baseball once a week. You could do maybe like a roto. You could do a head-to-head. You know, like I just don't know. You could do bets or something. So it would be super, super fun. And how a pentathlon works is all 5 leagues are part of the main league, and you accumulate points and all this type of stuff. It'd be a ton of fun. Just we're always looking for ways.
We got to put it together eventually, because you could do like season-long bets, and everybody gets to pick like 3 MVPs. Maybe you want to do a long shot, a middle, and a who you think is going to win for sure for points, stuff like that. So,
oh, that's true. You could do like 10 season-long bets. You could do a best ball. You could do a head-to-head roto. You could maybe do a points, and then
points,
and then a DFS.
And the way we do it, we don't do points. I'll just say that. So we can do a head-to-head and a roto and a best ball. I wouldn't mind that, but we don't need to do points, do we?
I'm just saying that's it. I don't know how it would end up working,
DFS and bets. That's it.
I don't know. Maybe we'll get inspired and we'll do something like that. But regardless, it always shows up in our Patreon. So we appreciate the support. A lot of our people in here are supporters. You guys make the world go round. So thank you so much for it. And we love you. And hopefully you guys have a fantastic week. We will be back with our home league draft, and we are here for any questions as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Q&A as we get set for all the stuff and things for Bogman. I am Welsh. Y'all have a fantastic one. Thank you for hanging out with us live right here on ITL. We out and peace.
See ya.
Peace.
The In This League